What's up, everybody? Welcome to podcast now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about some CD Projekt Red updates. They did their financial report today, and boy, honestly, a pretty okay amount of stuff from Witcher 4 things to actually multiple Witcher 4 things, and also a couple Cyberpunk related things. So, of course, I want to start with the charts. I like the chart, like the bar type thing, where you just get to always see these numbers changing around. So you look at July 31st of 2025 versus October 31st of 2025, and the Witcher 4 team had a monumental 3 extra people, so that really moves the needle. But no, number one, again, I really like just the way that the charts look, and I've always been interested in these. You look at Cyberpunk 2 as probably one of the bigger things you can get from this, right? It goes from 116 to 135. Really, I think everything jumped, right? Again, Witcher only jumped by 3, but even like other jumped by 5, and shared services jumped, and Hadar jumped. So everything's higher. They added an extra 52 workers, and I think they talked about like they're really going to stock up. I think even earlier on in the report, they show kind of what their teams, the Cyberpunk 2 team size, and then both in Warsaw and Vancouver, and the Boston team, and you see where they're at now, and then you see where they're going to be at by the end of 2027 going into 2028. I mean, they're nearly doubling. In fact, they might be doubling more their people. So they have a lot of, and actually they have some charts towards the bottom of their expenses, right? And a lot of it is just people. A lot of people. They're going to constantly be bringing more people in, so they're going to be paying these people. So some good stuff there. And as you can see, like specifically, I guess with that one chart, Cyberpunk 2 is beefing up. Now, of course, that comes second. Witcher 4 is going to come first. And let's look at Synth Potato, because he does a good job of kind of recapping some of the miscellaneous stuff. So Cyberpunk 2 will not release before 2028. We'll talk about that in a bit. 135 employees are now working on Cyberpunk 2 full-time, up from 116. Cyberpunk 2 is a joint project between the Poland and Boston teams. They expect a massive ramp-up in hiring, basically next year and into 27. Cyberpunk 2 development team is expected to scale up massively by the end of 27, with about 300 to 400 employees. Cyberpunk 2077 has now sold 35 million copies. So that's a really big one. And then his speculation is somewhere in that 2029 to 2030 range. I think, things are coming into focus more. Witcher 4 really is going to be 27 or 28. Like if you got a 50-50 shot, it's going to be one of those two. It's definitely not coming next year, which is why I'm a little salty of it being a most anticipated game in the Game Awards. There's no like fine print that says it has to be a game that comes out next year, but to be fair, all of the other games are coming out next year that are on there. Witcher 4 is going to be, fall of 27, anywhere into 2028, So it is going to line up kind of nicely with next-gen consoles, kind of be a cross-gen title. I feel that makes a lot of sense, and I feel like that's literally what's going to happen. And then, you add, whatever year that comes out in, you add 2 to 3, and then you get to Cyberpunk, right? So if it comes out in 27, add 2 or 3, you have 29 or 30. If it comes out in 28, Witcher 4, add 2 or 3 years, 30 or 31. So, if you think about it, maybe in a little less jumbled up terms, if you think maybe within the next 5.5 years, we'll have both Witcher 4 and Cyberpunk 2, that might make people feel better, right? 5.5 years, that's not too bad. People can live that long, right? I think we're going to be okay. But so that's a little bit of news. And by the way, 35 million units for Cyberpunk, one of the ultimate redemption stories. I think I go to No Man's Sky as like the definitive one. Cyberpunk might have actually outsold it and has more players, but kind of just where No Man's Sky was versus what it is now. It's incredible. To be fair, though, Cyberpunk, same thing. The not just having to fix everything, but then saying, okay, we're going to own it, and we're going to give you guys like basically an entire game on top of an entire game, right? We rework systems, all of the jazz that they did for years and years and years, probably beyond what they had intended to do, right? But there was a lot of makeup stuff they had to do to the fans that by the way, I don't think is done. You got to carry that like fan first attitude, really maybe for the rest of your lives, but definitely into like Witcher 4, I think would be a good idea there. Side thing from all of this, I think actually tying back into Witcher 4 being a most anticipated game, their president did say that Witcher 4 is not going to be, actually I think both Witcher 4 and Cyberpunk 2 are not going to be shown off at the Game Awards. Now, I would put 98% trust into that statement. The thing is, I wouldn't put 100% simply because I think that was the same guy that last year said, just a few weeks before the Game Awards, that it would be too early to show The Witcher 4, so we're not going to do it. And they literally showed The Witcher 4, and maybe you could argue eventually that that was too early to show it. So it's just funny that he literally said no last year and gave a reason, and then they did it anyway. So look, are they going to do it back-to-back years? No. There's really no point. Again, the game's not coming out for 2, maybe 3 years. You just showed it last year. You don't have anything really tangible, even that Unreal Engine 5, demo thing, which was really cool. But, like, you don't want to mislead. You don't want to muddy the waters. It's actually only going to hurt you at the end, so it's best you just put your heads down, work on the game, and when you have, like, the actual game to show, for the second time, or I guess third, then you do that, okay? So that's kind of where I would at least be on that. But, hey, overall good news. They are making money. They're doing well. They're scaling up. They're going to release some games that, obviously, I think are going to sell a lot of units. Cyberpunk selling 35 million. By the way, that puts it in a very elite class. A lot of games don't reach 10. A lot of games don't reach 20. A lot of games don't reach 30. A lot of games don't reach, like, 50. There's probably, like, a jump there. So to reach 35, that is incredibly impressive, and right before the 5-year anniversary, right? That's coming up in just a couple weeks from now. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.